Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently in a slightly awkward situation energy credit-wise, but overall it should be fine. Let's go ahead and check to see if there's anything that we need to do on any of our colonies right now. The answer to that is no, and I'm not surprised by that. We also have our anchorages working away. You can see that our naval cap just went up to 891 at this point, which means that our military ship maintenance cost is now down to 15%. So that's great. We're still going to be in a deficit energy credit-wise for a little while. What is our current trade policy? Let's see. We're on wealth creation. Okay, so that's correct. What else can we do here? We want to get this problem solved before we go to war with the Belmacosa enforcers, for sure. Now, the anchorages will help. Will they fully solve the issue? I doubt it. Maybe, I suppose. Actually, our ship cost is currently around 4,000 per month. What is 15% of 4,000? I'm pulling up a calculator. So 4,000 times 0.15. That's 600. That is actually the full problem. That would solve it. If we manage to get our naval cap to even, which I don't think we're going to quite get there. How far do we have to go? We've got a ways to go still. Okay, so we're at roughly about half as much naval cap as we're going to get. Fascinating. We're up to 902, so that drops us down to 14%. The math does check out. Order has been restored on Trappist Tertius. That's fantastic. This ring world does need housing. For now, we're just going to put in a city segment. I don't know what we're going to do with these ring worlds just yet, but we can put in more city segments than we can of any other district type. So that is definitely something to consider.
Achieved.
We are out of energy credits, and that's a bad thing. We need to definitely get some energy credits temporarily. Defense platform damage finishing up, and we are going to go for explosive weapon attack speed. Not like that's very useful. Terralum is allegedly a trade station, and I think we'll roll with that. We do need housing and a job here. And we're going to go for a commercial zone, but also a habitation district. Both are going to be necessary. This mining world requires housing. It does have jobs available, so we're going to need to put in luxury residences here. Unfortunately, it's only +3 housing, but it'll have to do for now. Also, our crime is super high right now. We should probably go ahead and launch an anti-crime campaign here. That drops it down to 51, which is helpful. Excellent. Okay, so we're now down to minus 237 in terms of energy credits. That's fine. And city districts do give housing, enforcer, and clerk jobs, but it's mostly that housing. So it looks to me like we want to put in 2 city segments and then max out every... Ooh. The Talakur League wishes to invite the Boki consciousness into the Federation. This is interesting. They're already associated with us. Oh, their war is over. Their war with the Belmacosa enforcers is over. I vote yes. And just like that, the Boki consciousness are part of the healthcare system. Great. That is absolutely fantastic. We should also probably at some point go into... where is it? There's a policy here that would be correct for our... let's see, consumer goods from jobs and allies from... That's fine. That's fine. It would be correct from our perspective, from our role-playing perspective. And that would be... I'm not sure where it actually is. I thought it was under policies, but maybe it's actually under species? The living standards here. So realistically, we should be under, like, utopian abundance. We're on decent conditions right now. Interesting. We don't embrace the necessary egalitarian ideals to do this. We could do a stratified economy. Or we could go up to chemical bliss, but I don't think that's a good thing. Maybe just social welfare. Okay, so that would result in quite a lot more consumer goods. We do have a boost to consumer goods right now. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go to social welfare. But the weird thing about that is that is on a per species basis. Can we set overall right? Oh, set default rights. Yes, that's what we want to do. So we want to go to social welfare then. Healthcare for everyone. Okay, we're expecting that to consume quite a number more consumer goods, but that might also help production.
Incoming transmission.
Yeah, that's actually almost no difference in our consumer goods. That's wonderful. No, we decline Boki consciousness. Okay, so who all is even left? There's the Belmacosa. There's the Marish Watchers, who are a fallen empire. They're still at war, I believe. Yes. There is the Progenitors over here, who are a fallen empire. And then there's the Yan Company and the Euthonian Coalition. I think that's literally it. Fascinating. Well, we're going to proceed. I do want to attack the Belmacosa. But I really don't think that we should until we solve our energy credit issue. Now, we could potentially put forward a policy on that, or rather an edict. Dropping, say, our mining subsidies and switching over to capacity subsidies. Let's do it. So if we do that, what does that actually do? I believe we'll have to wait until the month tick to really understand the ramifications of doing that. Beautiful. That's perfect. Okay, so what do we need now? Well, we need exotic gases. We're negative on exotic gases. This tech world needs a job. Or 2 jobs, actually. That's fine. This is apparently a mining station right now. We may actually want to have this... We can put in a mineral purification plant, but then also put in... Actually, we can put in crystal mines here. Which is something we should do. Yeah. Crystal mines go in. We can put in as many as 5 crystal mines. Which we can't support that many buildings just yet, but that's okay. So we're going to need to solve that exotic gases issue for now, but realistically, that's not a huge issue. I'm going to back off on our sale of minerals back to 500, but I'm also going to purchase in 4 exotic gases. I expect us to be negative in energy credits now. We're going to have to wait for the month tick, but we should be negative in energy credits. And that is exactly what I want for the moment. Yes, minus 46. Okay, so our naval cap is up to 920 right now, and I want to check in on these over here. Yeah, we're building the naval logistics offices for these right now, so that's going to net us an additional, what, 2, so 12 multiplied by 4 is going to be 28, or 48, rather. So that's going to put us up to 968. That's going to be close. Possibly close enough. Another thing we could potentially think about doing is putting forward an edict on a Grand Fleet. That'll give us 20% naval cap and minus 20% ship upkeep. Do it. That puts us positive in naval cap immediately, and that should put us positive in energy credits as well. That should solve the issue in its entirety. And in theory, potentially allow us to create another fleet, but realistically, not exactly. It's only 1062.
Construction complete.
Okay. We are indeed quite positive on our energy credits. We're going to cancel all of our sales of minerals. The Orinoco should probably start finding a location to build a mineral extractor. Like the Litherian Vortex. This is a good spot. So we would want to build a matter decompressor down over here. Excellent. We're going to build one matter decompressor just to get the experience on how that works. And then we're also going to build a single Dyson sphere. And if we need more after that, we can think about it. However, we're basically ready at this point to declare on the Belmicosa. Do we want to do it now? I kind of do. So we do an end threat war. And I think we just declare this.
At last, to war!
At last, to war, indeed. Okay, so as far as connections over here go, yeah, that's interesting. I think we're actually going to come out over here with the invaders, and we're going to try to wipe out this little pocket first. There's also Atlas up here that we'll need to go up to, but that's fine. Okay. So the first fleet is in Tanafir. We need to tick one day.
Battle is joined.
Where's this battle on? Terminal egress. Sure. This actually is completely fine. We aren't concerned about this. And these guys should die quite quickly as well. Okay. So, first fleet is in Tanafir. We want to move to here. First Federation fleet is also in Tanafir. We need to move to here because we need to bypass the FTL inhibitor. The second fleet is going to push into Opryuk. The second Federation fleet is also going to push into Opryuk for now. Third Federation fleet is, of course, chilling at terminal egress. The fifth fleet is in central processing right now, and we want to go grab Atlas with that. The Kunlun really should probably be up here. And the third fleet is also over here. We can have them come down over this way. That'll be fine. Okay. So the fourth fleet will, of course, finish this up very quickly indeed.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
We're going to have no real problems with this, although this is some of their more powerful fleets, actually.
The cowards have destroyed
Fascinating.
one of our spaceports.
And apparently they've destroyed some of our spaceports. I'm not sure exactly where they were to do that. I don't think they actually were anywhere for that. But that's okay. We're going to let these guys continue to fight these escort class ships over here. And this looks completely fine to me. We're just going to push our way in. We should, in theory, have absolutely no problem taking out locations like this one. Excellent. Now, what do they have on their planets for armies? Oh, that's not much at all. Okay, we're just going to come on in and land on Farshore. Abyssal Anchorage has 979. Sure. So these guys, they're going to split up a little bit here. We're going to send one fleet out after this fleet. We're going to send the other fleet, which should be this one? No, the other one. This fleet, out to Akmal. Wonderful. The fourth fleet is good to go. We're going to go ahead and reinforce that fleet. We did actually lose 2 cruisers, as well as a number of Mecampo classes and Ryazan classes. So they are going to just head up to Tadaska for now. Third Federation fleet is guarding, of course. And here we go.
Beginning attack run on enemy station.
So, these should be immediately flipping when we have full control, right? No, that's not how that works. Oh, it's partly occupied. Okay. So, we're going to send our fleets over this way. And... Borders are closed with the Athonians. Can we open those? They would have to open it. But we could maybe offer a trade deal? No, that's not how that works. So we're going to have to jump drive around the Athonians. Awkward, but I guess it'll be fine. Or we could go around that route, but that's even more awkward. So we're going to jump drive the first Federation fleet to Unith, and we're going to jump drive the first fleet directly over, I think, to Rigel. Okay. Sounds good.
Initiating ground assault.
And there we go.
Victory shall be ours.
Naturally, we will have no problem with that. And yeah, we're immediately grabbing the locations that we fully occupy. That's what I expected to see. Good. So the second Federation fleet is going to push down to Litiran. This fleet is chasing down into Moa, and that is okay. The first fleet is in Rigel and has taken a few losses, but we're going to head into Athos. The fourth fleet is reinforcing and will head out soon enough. Okay, the first Federation needs to head up over this way. Wonderful. The fifth fleet can head down to Yon. That'll be fine. The second can head over to, actually, Nishira. That'll be fine. And the Belmacosa do have some things around. How are we doing with our armies? We're currently on Far Shore. Okay.
Our warriors are victorious.
No problem whatsoever there. And then we're going to go land on Abyssal Anchorage.
Scientific
Fantastic.
breakthrough achieved.
The fourth fleet is almost good to go, but it's not quite there yet. The first fleet has taken some losses, and we're going to hit Bava Baba over here. We'll take additional losses doing that, but that's okay. Did I see an L-Gate over here? Yes, I did. So we can take that, and then we can use that to jump drive these areas, I suppose. But we're going to need to make sure that the Belmacosa are essentially out of the war before that happens. That's fine. These guys should move up to Wiesen. The fourth fleet is now ready to receive its orders, and its orders are to come over here. The Boki Consciousness are losing fights over there. Rude. Admin Cap has come up. That's nice. And we're going to go for, I guess, army damage. And we're also going to go for energy credits from jobs again. No. Energy weapon attack speed is what we're going to go for. The second Federation fleet has taken some pretty dramatic losses, but it's going to think about heading over to Durakis. We are going to have to reinforce some of these fleets fairly soon, particularly this one. That's fine, we can do that, no big deal. We've taken that station, and we are going to... we're still recharging. We're going to head down over here. The second fleet is going to think about pushing down to Enust. That'll be fine. The fifth fleet is currently in Yon, and that will need to head down this direction. The third fleet is also heading in this same direction. Okay. Sounds good for now.
Construction complete.
We're having no problem whatsoever dealing with these guys. That is to be expected. Okay. Sounds good.
Construction complete.
The third fleet requires orders, and its orders are to move down to the Singularity over here.
Our warriors are victorious.
And next, we're going to jump drive our army up to Yon, and that's going to land on Bear's Fruit. Never mind, that's being colonized. That's awkward. I guess we're not going to jump drive there. We are instead going to jump drive to Lavacio. And here we are going to land on Sprout. Excellent. We're up to 11% war exhaustion already, which is not necessarily the greatest of things. The 4th Fleet took huge hits somewhere and has actually retreated. Where was that? Not that one. Maybe this one? No, that's the 1st Fleet. Okay. That's the 5th Fleet. That's the 3rd Fleet. The 1st Federation. The 2nd Federation. The 3rd Fleet. Here's the 4th Fleet. Ah, they lost in this vortex. We didn't realize that they had all this here. Okay, good to know. That's fine, we can replace that. No big deal. The 1st Fleet is... Are they ready to jump drive yet? They actually will be. So we're going to allow them to jump drive out to Sigma Draconis. The 2nd Federation Fleet needs to start thinking about pushing in, like, to Shiminal. The 5th Fleet is going to push to Starmog. And the 3rd Federation is still chilling in its defensive posture. The 1st Federation is, of course, going to push to Kothium. There we go. And let's see, what else do we need? I mean, the 1st Fleet is in position up here. We're going to go ahead and reinforce that. We'll pump those out very, very quickly indeed. We are over our starbase cap, and we should think about removing some of these. Like the Wiesen Station. That can be downgraded. And that should put us at our starbase cap, so that'll be good. Okay. And there'll require a lot of work after this, of course, but that's fine. The Tazikian Foundation is taking territory over here. That's completely okay. We don't mind this. We're going to head down over here with the 3rd Fleet. The 1st Fleet is going to be reinforcing for a while. It did lose its Titan. The 3rd Federation Fleet should also be reinforced. There we go. Yes, we want to extend our deal. Okay. Sounds good. We are winning this war, but we may not get everything that we want out of it. We'll see. They have better tech than we do, after all. The 2nd Fleet is going to head down over this way. Something like so. Okay, the 3rd Fleet... Where's it going to go? It could head down here. Or it could just say that that's good enough for now. Or it could head over here. And that's what we're going to do. The 1st Fleet is still reinforcing, of course. The 5th Fleet requires orders, and its orders are to head up to Zeldra. From there, we'd kind of like to go over here, but there's the Singularity there. That's fine. When is the 4th Fleet going to be back? It's going to be back in a little while here. We do need Architectural Renaissance to be re-upped. There we go. And do we want to grab any of these? Scientific Revolution wouldn't necessarily be the worst. Yeah, I was hoping for a alloy production upgrade, but currently there is no such thing. Okay. Well, that's fine. The 3rd Federation Fleet is, of course, reinforcing. The 1st Federation Fleet is attacking over here like so. Okay. Who else needs orders? Well, the 5th Fleet does. Okay, the 5th Fleet grabbed Zeldra. Is anyone grabbing Soyama? No. Go grab that. Perfect. Corrupt administration. Okay. Rude. Very rude indeed. Okay, so how are the Belmicosa doing here? They're still considered inferior. They've actually improved their fleet power a little bit, I think, over ours. That said, we have suffered losses. There's no doubt about that. We're waiting on the 4th Fleet to come back to rebuild a lot of those. Our battleship and our Titan are building over here. The first fleet is going to be short those
Scientific
for a little bit.
breakthrough achieved.
We do get explosive weapon attack speed, not like that's helpful in any meaningful way, but we can grab kinetic weapon attack speed, and that will be helpful in a meaningful way. Okay. So we are continuing to get ourselves some territory over here. We do see that these guys are running around over here, and it is obnoxious. We're going to send these over to grab that. That wormhole is a potential problem. We don't know where it goes, and we can't really feasibly explore it right now. Let's head over to Zoad. Excellent. The 4th fleet has returned. It will require a lot to rebuild the 4th fleet. We'll get started on it, and we'll move it over to Sol. But that's going to take a whole lot. Okay. The 3rd fleet is currently heading out over this way, of course. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see about continuing to attack the Belmacosa enforcers. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.